The FA Challenge Cup, everyone wants to win.
Crazy gang have beaten the Culture Club. Gerrard! Oh, yes! The story of the FA Cup continues.
There's a red scarlet night over Wembley.
He saved it and made history. What a goal! Right for the scorer. It's Gearey Drogba. Candidate! One of the great cut shots of all time. Fantastic run. And the shot result is on.
Would you believe it?
This is the moment of joy that all professional footballers hope
A
for.
moment of treasure. Manchester City, FA Cup winners.
Hello there, welcome to 90 minutes of football, but not from one game, from 40. The first round proper of the FA Cup has taken place this weekend, and we've got all the action right here. I'm joined in the studio by two absolute legends of FA Cup first rounds of the past. Danny Webber scored a poacher's finish for Salford City in a 2-0 win over Notts County in 2015. And even further back in our archives, we found a rare goal for Ashley Williams in a 3-1 win for Stockport County against Huddersfield in 2004, complete with a pretty questionable celebration. With Armistice Day and Remembrance Sunday next weekend, teams across the country paid their respects before all of the weekend's FA Cup matches. We start with two league leaders, two divisions apart, as National League Chesterfield hosted former Cup winners Portsmouth, who are on a club record 26-match unbeaten run. Commentary comes from Simon Brotherton and Clive Allen.
Terrific setting, the SMH Group Stadium, and on the blow of referee Will Finney's whistle, this FA Cup first round tie is underway.
He almost sits on the ball, but brilliant work from Naylor, and Norris has his ankles right.
Yeah, congratulations then to Chesterfield. A huge day for them and a big upset in the end. Let's not forget Portsmouth League One leaders and were unchanged for this cup tie. It was a well-deserved win for them, Danny. I mean, if anything, they could have won by more.
Yeah, no, you could see they were all over them. And, you know, the manager at the end there, Paul Cook, basically saying, you know, no longer non-league teams that far apart from it.
Yeah, you know what you get with his teams. He wants his teams to be stubborn, hard to beat, press teams, but then when they've got the ball, they're always calm, composed.
Next, it's Slough Town of the National League South at home to League Two Grimsby Town, quarter-finalists last year. But they sacked their manager, Paul Hurst, only last week. Commentary from Farookhi.
Now the ball swept into the area and partially cleared by Grimsby, and then timed that run perfectly. Luther with absolutely no chance.
He's quite right. Sixth-tier Slough Town have got no right to hold a team like Grimsby Town, last year's quarter-finalists, to a draw and a replay, but they did just that.
Yeah, and I'm not sure they just held them to that. They probably, when they look back at it, be disappointed they didn't win the game.
Best of yesterday now, and we head down to Kent to see if 8th-tier Ramsgate of the Isthmian League South East Division could upset National League Woking. Commentary from Matt Davison from BBC Kent.
Martin gets a nudge in the back, not given by the referee. A couple of appeals from the fans, but no more than that. And this is Williams going forward now. That is it! Ramsgate are through to the second round of the FA Cup for the first time in their history. What a great story!
And as you can imagine, brilliant scenes then in the dressing room. Congratulations to 8th-tier Ramsgate, overcoming the 63 places between themselves and Woking. In Ashley, what was the biggest game of their history? Now, League Two Swindon Town are two-time FA Cup semi-finalists. Could they get over the first hurdle this season at home to National League Aldershot? Commentary from BBC Local Radio's Rob Worrall and Andrew Hawes.
Stokes picking it up on the right-hand side, looking to get the ball in early. Barham turns it in.
Kemp just outside the penalty area, who's got in a tangle initially with Harris. He's done well to keep hold of the ball. Kemp in the 21st century. This is the most damning, embarrassing and shaming of the lot.
An extraordinary game. And Aldershot made history as they became the first non-league side to score 7 against league opponents. And we're delighted then to be joined by the Shots manager, Tommy Widdrington. Tommy, great to see you. Many congratulations. Incredible performance. How do you reflect on it now?
Well, just looking at your VT there, I enjoyed the first sort of minute and a half, but not so much the last 35 seconds.
And good luck, of course, with the Shots for the rest of the FA Cup.
Thank you.
Brilliant stuff. Tommy Widdrington. Three more of yesterday's top stories now, starting with National League South Yeovil Town at home to Gateshead, who are one division above.
Yeovil Town are serial surprises. They have a history of FA Cup upsets. Yeovil had done it again.
This was National League North side Scarborough Athletics' first time in the first round. For that, straight after the match, he offered to help clean up the away dugout as well.
Cheltenham travelled to Wimbledon, 1988 winners in an earlier incarnation, nursing painful memories of their first round exit to 7th tier Aldershot last year. Wimbledon into the hat after ending a 5-match winless run in style.
Yeah, AFC Wimbledon with a 5-star showing against Cheltenham. Brilliant last goal, that, by the way, from Connor Evans. As for Scarborough, Ash, now on Friday night, a whopping 98 league positions separated League One Barnsley from Sussex side Horsham of the Isthmian League Premier Division. Commentary on this one from Andy Giddings.
Dodgson, in goes the corner, de Javigny, corner of the penalty area. In this 6-goal FA Cup thriller, Barnsley 3, Horsham 3.
Yeah, well played, Horsham. They really did put in a gutsy performance away to one of the strongest sides in League One. Now, Bristol Rovers sacked Joey Barton last week under interim boss Andy Mangan when they faced Whitby Town, 96 league positions below them in the Northern Premier. Commentary from Tom Gayle.
Whitby are unbeaten so far away from home in the 7th tier Northern Premier. Bristol Rovers, despite their change in manager, have only lost once at home in the league this season. To make it Bristol Rovers 7, Whitby Town 2.
Well, that bodes well, doesn't it? I mean, Bristol Rovers with as dominant as performance as they could have hoped for against 7th tier Whitby. Now, another game that pitted a club from Step 3 up against an EFL giant was Charlton Athletic at home to Cray Valley Paper Mills. Just 3 miles, but 5 divisions separate the two. Mark Scott and Matthew Upson watched this one.
Cray Valley Paper Mills average gate is 150, and they've sold around 2,000 tickets for today. Happy Valley for Valley. It feels like a win for them. It has ended in a draw.
What an effort then from Cray Valley, making light of the 5 divisions between themselves and Charlton. Now more teams from Steps 2 and 3 in the football pyramid who face the daunting prospect of taking on Football League opposition.
League One side Cambridge United came into this one having only won 1 of their previous 12, and it's Cambridge who march on.
Few non-league grounds evoke the FA Cup like Edgar Street. Hereford hoped to summon the spirit of Ronnie Radford and was calm as you like from the spot to ensure his boss can sleep easy again.
Three years ago, Marine were beginning a dream sequence, and the Marine dream is over for another year, at least.
The last time non-league side Worksop Town were in the first round proper, it was 2001.
Wooten has 4, Stockport have 4.
As Stockport eased through to the second round for the 4th year running.
Eighth tier Sheppey United were the lowest ranked team left in the competition, and the Kent non-leaguers FA Cup adventure was over.
So Sheppey United's brilliant cup run comes to an end against Walsall, but non-league Bracknell threatened a comeback against League One Cambridge. Kidderminster Harriers reached the 4th round 2 seasons ago, but currently lie bottom of the National League. They hosted League One Fleetwood Town, themselves are also struggling in the league. Commentary on this one from Martin Fisher.
Kidderminster currently bottom of the National League. They are 2 points adrift of safety. Phoenix with a chance to cross, but they have approached it professionally and have looked very comfortable throughout the afternoon.
So Fleetwood coming from behind to beat Kidderminster. 5 games coming up now with EFL teams facing sides from the National League.
Blackpool made 6 changes from the starting 11 against Fleetwood last time out for a tricky assignment at National League promotion chasers Bromley. We made hard work of it, the verdict of manager Neil Critchley.
25 years ago next January, presumably before Jenny the Giraffe came into being, Sutton United knocked out Coventry, one of the biggest FA Cup shocks of all time. Sutton had got themselves out of trouble.
These two came into this in contrasting form. League One high flyers Oxford unbeaten in their last 5 at home, while Maidenhead are struggling in the National League. There can't have been many games in the history of this competition where both managers were banned from the touchline, pouncing on the rebound and rolling his 5th of the season home.
National League Oldham Athletic breezed into Newport County's Rodney Parade, boasting a record of just 1 defeat in 9 league games, on a day when the League Two team's extra quality took them through.
There have been some rough times at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium in recent years. Ian Evatt has his first ever FA Cup win as a manager.
Yeah, a commanding win for Bolton. What's been a solid season for them so far. Let's just take a chance then to point you towards some more football content coming up here on the BBC. Tomorrow night you can listen and watch to the Monday Night Club with Mark Chapman from 7 on BBC Sounds and BBC iPlayer. On Tuesday and Wednesday, Sounds and 5 Live have live Champions League commentaries. And if you've missed any of our show, you can catch up on every goal from every game on the BBC Sport website and app. Next is some all non-league ties, hoping to take advantage of the draw and make it through to the second round.
This might not have been the draw that these 6th tier sides had hoped for, but they're into round 2 for the first time since 2012.
Seventh tier Chesham United reached the 3rd round in 1980 and have lost. No repeat here of Maidstone's humiliating cup exit at the hands of lower league opposition last season.
Barnet are pushing for a return to league football after 5 seasons away. In this game as good as a goal, Barnet held on.
National League North side Chester might be a division below York City, who are in the National League, but only 10 places separate these two. David Stockdale on his return after 2.5 months out, relishing his return to the squad.
These two sides were meeting in the first round for the 3rd year in a row. Eastleigh avenged their defeats in the last 2 seasons.
We'll go back to that game between Eastleigh and Bournemouth in a second, but we've got to look at a terrific goal in that tie involving Alfreton and Worthing. Now it's League 2 against League 1 in our next game. Crewe Alexandra at home to Derby County. Commentary comes from Nigel Adley.
It's been pretty much one-way traffic so far, but not in terms of the scoreboard.
2 very late goals have broken Crewe hearts.
Good response that from Derby, and the two sides go again. More EFL affairs coming up next. League 1 sides versus opposition from League 2.
This one was always a game for upset spotters. Barrow a league below Northampton, but in far better form.
Lifted forward, Ben Whitfield trying to get there. Ali Koike plays it through his own goalkeeper's legs, and Ben Whitfield takes full advantage of the mistake.
The Cobblers have repairs to make. Barrow march on.
This was a first FA Cup clash for these two, for his first goal for the club.
In an era where goalkeepers are urged to play out from the back, a salutary lesson on how not to do it. Emmanuel Fernandez with a header that forced a replay.
Stevenage sit 41 places higher than Tranmere and might have expected a fairly comfortable afternoon, certainly given the way they started. We were into the 10th minute of it when Stevenage advanced again.
For Reading, this was a much-needed distraction from their poor league form and off-the-pitch drama. But it's Reading who secure only their second win in 9.
League Two Colchester United took the lead in impressive fashion, but not enough for a third to take the tie to a replay.
Wycombe have trouble with round 1. The last 4 times they've played in it, they've gone out in it. But Wycombe came through to finally reach round 2.
So Wycombe seeing off a spirited, managerless Bradford City there. Some cup tie at London Road between Peterborough and your former club, Salford. Salford denied an upset. They made it 2-1, but the posh keeper won't want to see this back again. Now, 2 sides competing with each other for promotion from League Two met at Field Mill as Mansfield Town hosted Wrexham. Commentary from Bryn Law and Malcolm Allen.
Just a place and a point separate these 2 teams in the table.
Just couldn't get enough. Curve, swerve, call it what you like.
So the visitors are through. Whenever you mention Wrexham, Paul Mullin's never too far away. And so then, to our last batch of games, as sides from the same division met each other, starting with Accrington Stanley away to Doncaster Rovers.
Accrington are 10 places above Doncaster in League Two. But it was...
And what an absolute screamer from 30 yards by Harrison Biggins!
So these 2 are off for a replay.
Crawley sure play a mean pinball if their opener at Notts County is anything to go by. Crawley out of the competition in round 1 for the 3rd season in a row.
It's 10.5 years since Wigan won the FA Cup. Much has changed since then, but the best was still to come.
Oh, yes! What a cracker that is! That must be the goal of the day.
Steven Sessegnon, his first for Wigan, will have been the talk of the long journey home.
These 2 know each other well, having played only 3 weeks ago in League One. That 3-1 win means they're through to the 2nd round for only the 2nd time in 8 years.
Port Vale were down to 10 men against Staffordshire neighbours Burton Albion, and the 10 men of Port Vale hung on for a replay.
And that goalless draw rounds up all the roundups. Many thanks to Patrick Gearey, Damian Johnson and Betty Glover for taking on the marathon task of taking us through all those games. So there are 8 ties then that have gone to replays. They'll be played in the week after next. One of them will be shown live on the BBC. The draw for the 2nd round was made earlier today. Let's see who the weekend's headline makers have been drawn against. Today's conquerors of Portsmouth, Chesterfield, will be at home to Leyton Orient, and Aldershot will welcome League Two leaders Stockport County. Ramsgate's reward for toppling Woking is a trip to AFC Wimbledon. If Slough can win their replay at Grimsby, then they would face a trip to Oxford United. And if Horsham can get past Barnsley, then they'd have a local derby at Sutton United. Those ties will be played on Friday the 1st to Monday the 4th of December, with 2 of them live on the BBC. Plus, we'll, of course, have another highlight show and website coverage. And that's your lot from us. We've seen 149 goals, which has been the most in the first round since 1966. Thanks, as always, to Ashley and to Danny, and for you at home, then, for making it all the way to the end. Let's do it all again in the 2nd round in 4 weeks' time. From the 3 of us, bye for now.
Paul Mullin with a fine finish. Aldershot Town in 7th heaven here.
Ramsgate have got ahead.
Messi Saldana to have a go, and he scored! Sensation!